Hello, my friends, and welcome to another episode of Weekly Bullion. Today, I just want to take a little bit of a step back and talk about something that's a little bit upsetting and should be concerning to really all of us who enjoy our freedoms to move around the country and to custody our own currency and our own cash. This is a story that I found in the USA Today about a man. His name is Jerry Johnson, and he's now been in an approximate 2.5-year odyssey to try to get his cash back. Approximately 2.5 years ago, the Phoenix police seized his cash, $39,500, despite never charging him with a crime. Now, you all might have seen this in the past, and it happens at airports across the country, on highways across the country, and if you run a quick news search for right of forfeiture of cash, you'll find stories all over this country of people getting stopped by law enforcement and having their cash confiscated. He has a small business, much like the rest of us, and he had flown from Charlotte all the way to Phoenix to essentially purchase a third semi-truck to expand his small business. That's something many of us can appreciate. Okay, you find a deal on a truck, you want to go and get it yourself, probably drive it back, save some money. So he told the USA Today, which is where this story is published from, that he decided to travel with cash to it to avoid incurring bank fees. And that sounds reasonable. So he had a large amount of cash on his possession. And again, nothing's wrong with that. You should be able to move around the country with your own cash in your own custody. So as he got his checked luggage and he went to getting ready to head to his hotel, he was approached by some officers, and they interrogated him as to the large sum of cash that he had brought with him. Now, whenever you're approached and you're interrogated like this, they always say, "Why do you have so much United States currency on you?" They never really say, "Why are you carrying so much of your own money on you?" They always say United States currency. And eventually, they got this guy, Mr. John, to signing a waiver or go to jail. So they essentially said, "Listen, we're going to have you sign this waiver to separate you from your money, or you're going to go to jail." Now, he never understood what he was signing. He says he didn't understand what he was signing at the time. But again, when you're getting essentially harassed by police officers, they're standing all around you, you don't quite understand everything that's going on. You want to cooperate because you don't want to seem as though you're guilty of something. So if you're not guilty, why wouldn't you want to cooperate and show the best side of yourself to law enforcement? So they let him go. They never charged him with a crime, and then they took his money. And then that started a 2.5-year odyssey to try to get his money back. This is him right here. Nice guy. So he went into a legal battle. He had to provide tax returns, bank statements, all of this stuff to prove that he wasn't involved in any sort of criminal enterprise. However, the court found that the evidence was still insufficient, so he still couldn't get his money back. Later on, he went to this nonprofit agency called the Institute of Justice. And I don't know too much about this agency, but essentially they decided to take his case on. And they had lawyers write a review of his case, and they appealed to the courts. And finally, they got to the Court of Appeals, who essentially said, hey, Mr. Johnson should get his money back. And this is what the Honorable Peter Swan said. He says, "I'm sorry if it seems harsh that the state should actually have to come forward with evidence before it takes people's money away at the airport." Now, that's a reasonable and a forthright statement. But this is something that continues to happen. When you walk around with cash and it's not in the bank, you can get it confiscated from you at any time without even being charged with a crime. Whereas if you go to the bank and you try to even get a couple $1,000s out, you have a hard time even getting your money out of the bank. So this tells you that the system is broken, and it certainly isn't geared toward us and safeguarding our interest. So Mr. Johnson says, I'm relieved to get my money back, but he was frustrated that the police seized his money in the first place. And here's the thing, all of that time he didn't have his money, so he missed out. He says, I've missed out on a lot of business opportunities because that money was sitting in a government account instead of with him. So his business was harmed as a result of all of this. This is where precious metals comes into play. You know, what if this guy, instead of going to Phoenix with $39,000 of green stuff in his bag, you know, what if he had maybe, 9 gold coins in his carry-on, and then in his right pocket he had like 6 coins, and then in his left pocket he had like 4 gold coins. He'd still be transporting that same value, but to me it would be in a more dense form, such as gold. That would be the same as carrying $39,000 in cash that could easily be taken by law enforcement. But this is something that is disturbing. It's why we should custody our own cash and custody our own the value of our work in terms of what we've done in precious metals. Precious metals can easily be transported. It's not cash that can easily be confiscated by agents of, the state. And it's another way in which we can better safeguard and protect our wealth and our assets. What have you heard about this forfeiture of cash without being charged with a crime? What do you think about it? And do you think that gold and silver are a hedge against this? And if you needed to transport $50 or $60 or even $39,000 across the country, would you feel comfortable walking around with cash in your bag, or would you rather have a few gold coins and then exchange those gold coins when you got to your destination? Let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. That's all I've got for you for today. Stay blessed, guys, and keep stacking.